Hey, many blessings. So I've just come back to Sedona, so it may be a bit windy in the background. But today I wanted to talk about how to increase your intuition, or rather, how to listen to and discern what your intuition is and how to know the difference between an intuition and an idle thought. Or perhaps maybe you've had trouble trusting your intuition in the past because you listened to a voice that led you astray. And so maybe you have trouble trusting your own intuition. And maybe you already get intuitions all the time. So I think the best way to start discerning our intuition is to feel for it. Feel for the feeling of alignment. When you feel for the feeling of clarity and alignment, the feeling of guidance, the feeling of a flow of source energy moving through you, and you get those impulses and inspirations. And every time that you follow those intuitions and you get these synchronicities and this sense of being on your path and the journey unfolding, every time you do that, you're going to increase your confidence in your intuition, and you're going to start to be able to trust it more. You're going to be able to start to trust the guidance of spirit. And how to tune into and receive your intuition. Maybe you're having trouble receiving your intuition in the first place. It's to slow down, come into the breath, come into this sacred moment, connect with nature, meditate, walk. Even walking is a meditation. Walking, breathing, living is a meditation. But just slowing down and coming into the moment and listening, honing your discernment of what does it feel like to be in receiving mode. Even just setting the intention that I intend to be more open to my intuition and to the guidance of spirit. And then tuning in and opening up to receive that, coming into the present moment, slowing down and listening with your inner ear, seeing with your inner eye, and paying attention to the images that come across your mind's eye, to the clairaudient messages that are flowing through you. A great way to start bringing those messages through is to get into that mode of receiving, and you'll start to notice the difference between being in the flow and not being in the flow, being under the influence of source consciousness and being under the influence of something else. And so when you get into that flow, a really powerful practice to start channeling those messages is journaling. And specifically, if you're having trouble accessing or you're wanting to access your intuition more and to translate that, maybe you get into your head. And so it's like you're getting into these thought patterns that it's like, okay, this doesn't exactly feel like the guidance. Well, a practice of journaling through automatic writing. And essentially what this is stepping out of your own way, slowing down, presencing, and getting into that receptive meditative state. And then as you start to feel like you just pay attention to whatever's coming across your mind's eye, whatever messages you're receiving, and you just brain dump it. You just write it all down. Don't edit it. Don't stop the flow until it's done, until you feel complete. Or you can set a timer. I just like to do it until I feel complete. And then what's going to happen is you're going to see this beautiful soul script start to come through. You're going to start to see these messages of spirit just by having that intuition and being able to write that down and then look at that. Those are going to be messages from your own spirit, from your own subconscious. And your relationship with the collective consciousness. You're gonna start to see that own, it's like an inner writing of your soul. You just got to learn to read it. It's super simple. It's like learning to read or write. It's like learning to read a bike. Ride a bike. How do I read this bike? What's my intuition telling me about this bike? I should write it. It just becomes like a natural thing that you know what it feels like. You know what it feels like to be in the flow, and you start to learn how to access that channeling state, to access that theta brainwave state, to access that flow state. And another way, again, is self-inquiry and questioning your beliefs, your limiting beliefs, and being able to ask yourself the question, if you're not sure in the moment, now is this a thought pattern? Is this a limiting belief, or is this an intuition? It can be the same thing with fear, because sometimes fear can be an indicator to move towards a safe space or to move towards what's in alignment for you. Other times fear is just something that's self-sabotaging and holding you back. Now your intuition can help you to discern what your emotional states are telling you, because your emotional states are energies in motion, and being able to access, all your intuition is your inner guidance system. It's your inner GPS. Natural thing that everyone has. But especially as you're developing spiritual discernment, as you're able to look deeper within yourself and become acquainted with your own patterns. Like a powerful form of meditation and shadow integration is to actually feel the old patterns and to become acquainted with them. It doesn't even have to be a long period of just sitting there and becoming acquainted with those feelings. Becoming acquainted with those negative emotions, becoming acquainted with those thoughts that come up. And then feeling them, embracing them, and letting them go can start to shift into a new pattern and be like, okay, now your intuition will tell you when those patterns are coming up. And then you can tune into the guidance. And as you ask, you receive. As you ask, it is given. It's like a call and response game with universe, with infinite intelligence. Every question is emblematic of the solution, of the answer. Every problem is emblematic of the solution. Every question contains the answer. So just being able to, when you ask for these guidances and these intuitions, to then tune yourself to the feeling state, to the frequency, to the vibration of that you already are receiving the answer from. So when you start tuning into the answer, your intuition will give you that. It'll start giving you these step by step by step. And it's like, as we're present to each step, we start to trust in our path even more. We start to trust in ourselves, because honing your intuition, training your sense of discernment is key to spiritual sovereignty and self-empowerment, and moves you out of the reliance on external authority and into your own inner authority. So thank you guys, and I really appreciate all of you that have been magnetized and synchronistified into this channel. My vision is sharing these tools and supporting the collective shift in consciousness. So I feel very excited to see this channel growing. Please, if you feel called, hit the thumbs up. That really helps the algorithm. Leave a comment of how you're navigating your own intuition. And when you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell if you want to be notified of the regular videos. Many blessings, and I will see you on the next one.